I'm 99 years old, and I am sitting in my own kitchen. My sister Beatrice is sitting in a wheelchair in a nursing home outside Cleveland. She does not know my name anymore. She is 6 years younger than me. Not because I was lucky, not because my body was stronger than hers, because in our 60s, Beatrice did 3 things that I did not do. They looked like nothing at the time. They looked like sensible decisions a woman in her 60s is supposed to make. Every woman I know who is now in a nursing home did at least 2 of these 3 things in her 60s. And if you are in your 60s right now, you are probably doing one of them this week. You will not notice. Beatrice did not notice either. She was the smarter one of the 2 of us. She read more books. She took better care of her health. She had more money. She did 3 things in her 60s that I refused to do. And we are where we are. Stop them now, today, before they cost you what they cost her. The first thing Beatrice did in her 60s was she moved to a 1-story house. She was 62. Her doctor had mentioned that stairs were something to think about. Her son had been hinting about it for years. The house she had lived in for 34 years had a staircase from the kitchen to the bedrooms. Beatrice sold that house in the spring of 1989 and moved into a ranch-style home with no stairs. Everyone in our family congratulated her on the foresight. She told me the week before she moved that she was being smart about her future. I want to tell you what actually happened. The stairs in her old house were not a problem. They were exercise. Every time Beatrice went to her bedroom, she climbed stairs. Every time she came down for breakfast, she descended stairs. She did this 8 to 12 times a day, every day for 34 years, without trying, without a gym, without thinking about it. The day she moved into the 1-story house, she stopped climbing stairs. Within 2 years, she could not have climbed them if she had wanted to. The strength in her legs and the balance she had built without effort for 3 decades disappeared because she had moved into a house designed to prevent her from using them. By 72, she could not climb the 3 steps into my own house when she came to visit. She had to wait for my son to help her. A woman who removes the small difficulties from her own life is a woman whose body forgets how to do difficult things. I am 99 years old. I still live in the house with the staircase. I climb those stairs 4 times a day. My doctor has asked me gently whether I should move to a single-floor home. I told him the stairs were the reason I was still standing up to talk to him. The first lesson: do not remove the stairs. The stairs are not the problem. The stairs are what is keeping you alive. The second thing Beatrice did in her 60s was she stopped cooking from scratch. She was 66. Her husband had died the year before. She lived alone. Cooking a full meal for one person felt like an effort that no longer made sense. She bought a microwave. She bought frozen dinners. She told me the first time I visited her after the change that life was easier this way. It was easier. That is exactly what was wrong with it. Cooking from scratch is not just food. Cooking from scratch is a sequence of small physical tasks that a woman in her 60s needs more than she realizes. Standing at a counter for 45 minutes, lifting a pot, reaching for spices on a high shelf, chopping vegetables, stirring a sauce, reading a recipe and remembering where you are in it. A woman who cooks dinner every night is doing physical therapy, occupational therapy, memory training, and balance practice 6 times a week without paying for any of it. The day Beatrice replaced her stove with a microwave, she stopped doing all of that. Within 4 years, she could not chop a vegetable without dropping the knife. Within 6, she could not remember the recipes she had made for 40 years. The kitchen, which had been her gym and her classroom, had become a room she walked through to get to the microwave. I am 99 years old. I cooked my breakfast on the stove this morning. I will cook my dinner tonight. The kitchen is the most important room in my house, and I have refused to surrender it for 37 years. The second lesson: do not buy the microwave. The cooking is not a chore. The cooking is the medicine. The third thing Beatrice did in her 60s was she stopped going to funerals. This is the one nobody warns you about. This is the one I argue about most often with women your age. She was 67. We had been to 3 funerals in 18 months. Old neighbors, a cousin, Beatrice's high school best friend. She told me at the 3rd one, in the car on the way home, that she could not do it anymore. The funerals were too sad. They reminded her of her own husband. She was going to stop going. I understood. I did not agree, but I understood. By the time Beatrice was 75, she had not been to a funeral in 8 years, which meant she had not, in 8 years, seen the families of her old friends. She had not stood in a church she used to attend. She had not driven to towns she used to live in. She had not had the conversations a woman has with old acquaintances at the back of a funeral parlor. When her own best friend from college died in 2002, Beatrice did not go. She sent a card. She told me she could not bear it. The cost of that one absence was enormous. The college friend's children, whom Beatrice had known since they were small, never invited her to anything again. They had assumed her absence meant she did not care. The thread of that whole community of people closed up behind her. By 78, Beatrice had almost no one to call, almost no one to visit, almost no one who remembered her young. A woman who stops going to funerals in her 60s is a woman who, by her late 70s, has no one left who knew her when she was someone. I am 99 years old. I have been to 71 funerals since I turned 60. Some of them broke my heart. All of them kept me connected to the world I had built. The people I sat next to at those funerals are the people who still call me now. The thread is unbroken because I kept showing up. The third lesson: do not stop going to funerals. The funerals are not about the dead. The funerals are how you stay alive in the lives of the living. 3 things, 3 sisters. One in her own kitchen at 99. One in a wheelchair in Ohio who does not remember her own name. I want you to listen very carefully. I am not telling you that Beatrice did something wrong because she was a bad woman. Beatrice was the best woman I have ever known. She made 3 decisions in her 60s that every magazine, every doctor, every well-meaning son or daughter would have told her were the right decisions. Move to 1 floor. Make eating easier. Stop attending events that drain you. Every single one of those pieces of advice is the road to a nursing home. And the road begins at 62, 66, and 67 with small, sensible, smart choices that you have probably already made or are about to make. Do not remove the stairs. Do not buy the microwave. Do not stop going to funerals. A nursing home does not begin with a fall. It begins with the 3 sensible decisions a woman makes in her 60s, congratulated by everyone who loves her, that quietly disassemble the life she has been living for 40 years. I'll see you in the next one.